Hi everyone, Cesar Dueñas here for CMD Attorneys, and today we're going to talk about attorney's fees. Before that, please like, subscribe, and share this video so we can reach out more people. You may think that when you file a lawsuit in the United States and you win that lawsuit, you would be entitled to recover the money you paid to your attorney, right? It just makes sense. Unfortunately, it's not quite right. There are only two situations where you can recover attorney's fees. And I get this question a lot from my clients when we sit down and we discuss the fees. After the consultation, I provide my fees and explain how those fees will be charged. And they say, wait a minute, but I'm going to get this money back, right? Once we win, we're going to recover this money that I'm paying you as an attorney from the other party. And that depends on whether the client or this situation falls within there's an agreement or there's a law that requires the losing party to pay for attorney's fees. So the first scenario with the agreement, where attorney's fees conveyed by agreement, is, for example, where, let's say, a service company, let's say a company that provides accounting services. So they provide all the services for 3-4 months, and once they're done and the client has received all the benefits of their work, the client decides not to pay the bill. If there's an agreement and the agreement establishes that the client is responsible for and should pay attorney's fees, then I will file an action and I will mention in that action that the client agreed and the parties agreed that the losing party will pay attorney's fees. So in this scenario it's fine. But if there's no agreement, and let's say, which happens a lot, the accounting firm just send a bill to the client and the bill doesn't mention anything about attorney's fees, in that scenario, then the firm is out of luck. They are not going to recover my fees, the attorney's fees, from the other party, and that those fees will have to come out of pocket. Again, that may be the difference between a project where you lose money and a project where you make money. The second situation is where you're filing an action and you're entitled to attorney's fees because a law or a statute. For example, when you have been victim of fraud or deceptive practices, Florida has a law that entitles you to recover attorney's fees. And so when I file an action, I make sure that in my pleadings I'm mentioning that action and that my client is entitled to recover those fees because of that statute. There are also some other provisions from the Uniform Commercial Code and some other laws that entitles the claimant or the person who's suing to recover attorney's fees. So in those cases, again, the attorney just has to mention the law and request those fees, and when the party wins, is entitled to attorney's fees. Finally, I want to mention that this is very common. This mistake that the other party will pay attorney's fees is very common for two reasons. First, because everywhere else, like in the majority of countries in the world, that's the general rule, that if someone makes you sue them to recover, you are entitled to recover those fees. The losing party pays for the fees, attorney's fees, for everyone. That's the general rule in Latin America, where many of my clients come from, and in Europe as well. So that's one of the reasons. And the second reason is it just makes sense. When you have been wrong, it will make sense that the person who did wrong to you will be held liable for those fees. So thank you for watching. If please comment in below if there's something that you would like us to talk about, or if you had a situation where something like this happened to you, and we'll be happy to respond to that. Have a great day.